Hello everyone, welcome back to the weekly video. Congrats to those who are holding SIA. Right, SIA has gone up as mentioned last week. Right, the counter has a potential chance to form an ascending triangle. And right now, if you are looking at the chart, you are seeing SIA broken up from the ascending triangle and has a very good chance to hit its 690 projected target. Right, this is a special report on SIA. Let's resume back on the usual way of analysis where we are going to look at the index and the email to see how our stocks performed. Okay, so let's look at the index first to look at the general direction. So we shall start with STI. When STI were to break out, oh wow, nice. Okay, so you can see STI broken out from the resistance here. Okay, and the very good white candle would help the counter to continue, potentially help to continue towards 3,213. Okay, so here, if you were to follow what I have drawn here, this is where we are going to look at the potential challenge, because if I were to shift this drawing, so why do I need to shift it? Because you see this upside here was meant for a movement like this. Okay, but it took quite some time for STI to react. And if STI were to move up, then towards this resistance, so we shall see whether it will pull back and repeat his history again like this. Okay, so the history of SIA, not SIA, STI trading, right, where it breaks down and we recover to hit the resistance, then pull back again. So will this history repeat? So we shall see going forward how the market perform. Hang Seng, it had a very volatile week, I would say. So initially it had a strong sell-off over here. Then news from the China government reviving the economy, supporting the market came in, and Hang Seng had 3 good days of rebound. But you can see here, this is the long-term downtrend line, which remains very much intact. Now, if you follow the email, I also have this downtrend channel where I plotted to see where the Hang Seng is moving towards, right? Which direction it may hit. Okay, because all these downtrend channels, downtrend line, right, would be the key for the index. If the index were to turn uptrend, it has to clear all these levels, right? Meaning to say you have to clear out all this downtrend line in order to be uptrend again. So it will be a, a long journey, I would say, because if the index continue to struggle at the high, then it will be a long journey for it to turn its trend. But if it turns into a super bull where every day it just continue to go up like the US market, then of course the change of trend will be fast, right? So here, if you were to look at the US market, it is very strong, and you can see the bull has no let up. There isn't any deep pullback over here, so therefore it swiftly changed its trend. So I'm looking at this part. So you see it swiftly changed its trend towards up until here where there is some meaningful pullback, and then from ascending triangle where it is moving towards the projected target at 4,920 points thereabout. So the S&P 500 remains bullish for now. Okay, so the general directions to look at is that the STI has a chance to in fact actually break into an uptrend if there is no severe sell-off going forward. Okay, so we have a lot of stocks to cover, right? Just now I mentioned about this SIA. I keep talking about SIA. Let's look at the Sembcorp Industry Sets, City Development, Singtel, Baba. So I covered Hong Kong stocks as well. UMS currently is trading hot, but before that, we were anticipating that it is going to hit 140. Franken, Keppel, Comfort, Delgro. So as I go through the stocks, I might forget what stocks I need to cover. So I got to switch back to an email again, back and forth. So to remind myself what stocks that I should cover. So let's start with Sembcorp Industry and Sets. So the trading opportunity for Sembcorp Industry is that if it can break out above this resistance at 555, then it has a chance to continue higher towards the earlier projected target at 603. So we can see the trend remains up, and the breaking of the resistance becomes very important because when the stocks is bullish, it always breaks resistance. So let's watch for 555 resistance, especially if the volume is high, then we can see a more substantial movement, higher movement going forward. Then we have sets. So having pulled back strongly to test this support level over here. These are the previous resistance level. Okay, these are the previous resistance level. As you can see, sets pull back to test this level. It has a chance to rebound back to its resistance level at 294. As you can see the drawing here, previously we projected it to test 294, and I was told some has taken profit. So congrats to you, you have taken profit earlier, and there might be an opportunity for sets here, right? If it can close as a nice white candle. So the point that the candle pattern or the signal that suggests potential upside is this. Okay, so you can see this doji, and previously when the stocks has a doji and followed by a good closing the next day, it tend to have a chance to continue higher. So here we have a doji here, and then we have more doji in the past as well. So let's see here. So you can see here, there is a doji here, but the next day did not close as a nice white candle, and in fact it was a black candle. Therefore, it continued go down lower. So this candle become very important, because if it is a nice white, there's a chance for it to go up higher. Especially the results is coming, so you got to watch further. Okay. So another example is this one. You can see the long black sell-off like now, and then the doji comes the second day after the sell-off, then followed by a nice white candle and sets, boom, rally. Okay, so here we have to see whether the history will repeat. In which direction, it depends on the closing today. Okay, so if suddenly turn to a long black, I got to be careful. If you have taken a position, got to check, right? What is the next potential movement, which is maybe going down, and then you might want to get out first, right? While waiting for the next opportunity. Okay. Next will be the City Development, Singtel. So City Development, in fact, did not do well. Okay, so City Development yesterday failed to confirm the hammer, and it is on its way, right, or rather it still stays at a low, and it may be on its way down again if today there is no strong closing. Okay, So City Development, we got to watch further. Hopefully, if we can close back to 625 or 627, then we have a chance to see more upside. Singtel requires a breakout from its symmetrical triangle. But which direction that is breaking, that one remains unknown, because you can see Singtel continue to struggle, right? At this consolidation, you can see the symmetrical triangle over here. And it needs a breakout above or below. So you have to wait patiently for that to happen. Okay. And next we have Baba. Jack Ma and Joe Chai bought into Baba to show confidence of the company. So Baba had rallied since the news was out and hitting a high of 73 before today it start to pull back a little bit. So it will be like the Hang Seng Index, a long journey ahead if you want to change a trend. But the first thing for you to do is to hit its resistance at 76.30. So do watch for the movement to happen. If it happen, right, 76.30 is a major reason for it to break and for it to start to change its trend. If it cannot hit that level, then we have to look at what are the signs that it generates to tell us what will be its next possible direction. Okay. Then we have UMS. Yes, UMS. Go back to email again. So if you were to look at the email, UMS was expected to hit 140 resistance. So let's see whether UMS did that. Okay. In fact, it did that yesterday, but the closing was a bit disappointing because most all the gains has been erased. So it went to 140, 141, and then pull back to close lower. Now it's currently trading hot, potentially announcing some good news, right? If possible, right? As I can see from the Qs, there is no change. So normally the Q, when the stocks is trading hot, the Qs can give us some clue. So if you suddenly see the Q drop very fast, like for example, the buy Q and sell Q is about 110 or $1, then this may suggest that UMS is going to announce some bad things, right? But if the Q suddenly jump from 138 to 150, then you know that there is some good news probably coming. Okay. But of course, these are the the telltale sign. It's not confirmed. We still need to wait for the actual announcement. And then when UMS opens and trades, then we will know whether it is a good news or a bad news. Okay, next we have this Franken. The breakout point. The breakout point I mentioned in the email was 130 reference entry. Right, reference stop means that you may want to consider exiting the stocks if it hit this level, subjected to the market condition. Okay, reference entry also you may consider to enter into the stocks, right, subject to the market condition, because we will look into the volume, whether the stocks close at the level, etc. Okay, so let's look at the subjected the content. So you can see Franken here, the volume as it hit 133 was high. So this is a good condition for you to take a position. So no doubt the next day it start to pull back a little bit, but overall the strength remains as the volume compared to the breakout is low. Okay, so you can see Franken continue higher towards 154, the reference target. So let's see whether Franken can do that. So again, congrats to those who are holding Franken, right? It is a time for you to make some decent profit from the market. Then we have Keppel. Keppel was anticipated to rebound to 701 to show some positive sign. Okay, because there's another hammer here. So previously you can see there was a reference entry price here, which was 701. Then reference stop here at 685. But towards the end of the day, you can see Keppel Corp actually rebounded strongly to close at 685, which means that no need for you to exit, because normally when we exit the stocks, we tend to take a view at the towards the end of the market. Okay, I use the word we because I always discuss this with my client. Sometimes they ask me, hey, no, should I cut now or should I do it later? So usually my opinion is that let's wait until towards the market closing about 4:30, 4:45. If the stock still close over, we don't mind lose a little bit more, then we exit the stock. So we want to prevent whipsaw. So this kind of movement is a whipsaw where it unsuccessfully break down and then recover. So let's see whether Keppel Corp can continue higher from the current movement. So Keppel Corp, after the so-called whipsaw, did rebounded, but it got blocked by this previous uptrend line, which now turned as a resistance. So it has a tedious movement after that. Yes, a tedious movement after that, failing to go back to the high to test that previous uptrend line. So going forward, if it can, right, hit back this previous uptrend line, which is 701 now, which is still a resistance, and break out from there, then it can still have a chance to hit back 716 projected target. So do take note that the result is going to come for Keppel Corp. I think is some early February, first week or second week of February. So do watch out for that. Okay. Then we have ComfortDelGro. So ComfortDelGro has a its uptrend remains intact. No doubt it is still consolidating. So we have to wait for that rebound to happen. Look at the volume, pretty low. So which means that the market is still waiting for the next catalyst to push the stocks higher. Okay, so as long as it doesn't break this low at 135, it should be fine, or it doesn't go there to test. Hopefully it can maintain at 139 and rebound from there. Then there is a good chance for ComfortDelGro to move higher. Okay, so with this, thank you for viewing this week's video. I will see you again next week.